you better pray that tomorrow arrive. Rap, Sugar Ray Robinson, nothing sweet. Y'all too out of shape to even box with me. Heavyweight, I know my way around the ring. Just like Shorty know her way around the storm. Making hits with Hit Boy, all he gotta do is hit record. Record breaking news, had to show up just to fill a void. Confused boy, little boys, y'all better keep your poise. Leave me out of the weasel. Be cool when you see me, I'm hot at all that rap deep. The hood know you, so we don't borrow, believe in it. Locked in on the instrumental, I took back the key to this. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. Your top 3, I'm not number 1, how could you post that? I would have crowned the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go back. Meet Joe Black. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. What I'm saying, your top 3, I'm not number 1, how could you post that? I would have crowned the city is
It's week 14 of the National Football League, and we've got Desmond Ridder. After his last game, now across 3,000 yards for the season. It's the Falcons and the Panthers, and it's all up next on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. Brandon Gaudin with my good friend Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at the Panthers in this matchup. Their offense is one that doesn't rely too heavily on just one guy. They like to spread things around as best they can.
You're right about that. It's a diverse unit, and they like to run their offense by what they call game plan, meaning each and every week they study the opponent, they probe its weaknesses, and they move the ball around that way. They emphasize who's going to get it based on what they think they'll accomplish in that game. Other teams, they're a system team. They're going to run what they run no matter what. I like this style of offense. It suits them well.
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
Are you ready?
First down, they'll start with Algier. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well, as you can see, they're not operating at full health today, partner. That's been a big story the last couple of weeks. But the bottom line, their record is solid, and you know that this is still a very dangerous team, even with those guys missing.
What they have shown us throughout this season is that this team has stayed focused, and some injuries, they're just not going to derail the momentum they've built up all season long. They continue to go out there and play and give their best performances.
Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. On fourth down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Following the punt return here, there's someone shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. First and 10 for the Panthers as Corral gets them set at their 36-yard line. They'll start with the option. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down. Throwing here, Corral. Now they go screen. It's complete. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
On 3rd down, Corral. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The Panthers hit 8-4 now in the year. And they come in off the extended break from the bye.
And I think it was much needed as well because you play 2.5 months. You know you're ready for some time off in order to get prepared for the home stretch. In fact, when they looked at the schedule to start the season, I think they liked where their open week fell.
They run it for the first time with Tony Pollard. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Trying to run forward with Pollard. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Gonzalez's kick is good, and the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And they had lost 2 in a row prior to getting the open week last weekend, so potentially a chance for them to get away for a bit, keel up, and come back strong.
That's what the hope is anyway, because you're going to find out now with your team, are you still focused on being the best you can be for the rest of the season with the things going the way they have earlier this year?
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. These two teams, they met in Charlotte earlier in the year with the Panthers coming out on top. So a win here in Charlotte would give them the season sweep. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Brian Burns make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Ritter and the Falcons need an answer and a big play here on 3rd and long following the sack. They'll look to throw here. And that's caught. It's Brian Edwards. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th. Now the punter, Sam Martin, called on to kick it away here. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Panthers will take over now 1st and 10. The Carolina offense making their way out. We take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. A CD after this game, there will be 4 weeks left in the regular season. So this is far from the final version of what we'll see come January, more of a first draft, if you will, as all these teams fight for a better position.
And you pointed it out so accurately there, Brandon. After this game, 4 weeks left in the regular season, and then the playoffs officially begin. But for some teams, trying to fight to make it to the playoffs, they're actually in a playoff push right now.
Corral sets up play action. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Now after the sack, you got Corral and the Panthers here staring at a tough play, 3rd and long. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
Yeah, this time it's going to come from the middle linebacker because watching the lineman, It seemed to me that they thought he was going to drop back into pass protection, but he surprised them and came on the blitz instead and had a pretty clear run to the quarterback.
And the next-gen stat's going to show just how much time he had to make a decision, and it's not much. 3 seconds, the final clocking. Falcons 1st and 10 here as Ritter gets them ready.
At their own 26. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. That's into the hands of Edwards. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. They'll drop to throw. Dumps this one off to Algier. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Well, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Still 3rd down.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Here's the punter, Martin, out to kick it away.
Holding. Receiving team.
So holding there on the return, and that'll back them up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression, jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
But if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
But you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. He's going to keep this again. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
10 more there and another first down. Here's Pollard again. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Charlotte, and it's the Panthers with the football. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Tony Pollard with his 13th rushing touchdown on the year as his guys are able to extend their lead. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And the lead grows to 10-0. That time a 6-play drive. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. 30. 10. Touchdown, Falcons. Call that a 96-yard house call on the kick return. And the Falcons have got it back to within a score. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away. He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So now the other return teams out there, as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. Offense back out there, and we shine the spotlight on the Memphis man, Tony Pollard. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he? He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game. And now he's looking just to add to his totals. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. On second down, here's a keeper by the QB. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. And this offense on third down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Corral from the gun on third down here. And that is incomplete. Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession. Taking it about the 36. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta regains possession of the football. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts. They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that can put your team in some jeopardy? He'll try again with the arm here on second down. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick. And the Panthers are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball. No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward. And they'll run the option to start the drive. And good work there in open space. He's got this all the way down now to the 32. A really nice effort that time. 12 yards on the keeper, picking up the 1st. Off the play fake. Here's Corral. There's Trimble, the tight end. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. On second down, it's Pollard. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 51 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. On the draw, it's Pollard. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Going to run again here with Pollard. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sets his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing fourth down.
Gonzalez's kick is good, and the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Falcons offense set to go. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
Oh, I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, it's still in the first half here. A long way to go. Give to Algier from the shotgun. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
You remember in preseason when we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and, you know, guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. And room there to work it inside the 25. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. 11 yards and a Panther first down. And this is a guy who's going to get some carries going forward. Picked up as a free agent just this past week.
How about fresh legs, right? We always talk about bringing a guy in, provides that spark, and maybe a little bit of extra energy.
Here's 2nd and 9. Gets it quickly out to Marshall. And he is going to lose yardage here. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. And Corral will throw it. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they had the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
Tyler Algier and the rest of this offense making their return to the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
They haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. Algier going straight ahead. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. 4 minutes to play here in quarter number 2. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll just get rid of it. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
A good return there, 17 yards. And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they enter play here in this one on a 2-game win streak, plus they come off the open week as well. So this is a team that has a lot of things working in their favor.
Oh, it certainly is, and let's face it, this team is playing so well. The worry now is that after a few extra days off, they'll be sluggish coming into this game. So I've heard that he spent more time in practice working what they call good versus good, starting offense versus starting defense. They want a fast start in this next game.
They'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
I certainly know that I, for one, would not like to be on the other end of a tackle when this guy's coming at you full speed from his strong safety spot. Boy, that was a nice play.
And these are the kind of plays that defenders dream about, a chance to get a big running start and go after the quarterback. He was not at all put off by the option. I think he committed to the quarterback right from the outset, and he was able to get in there and put the hit on him.
A good decision in the end to pull and run, gets him 9 yards and a 1st.
No shortage of impressive moments for him thus far. Now he's halfway to the century mark, and we're still in the first half. There's been no answer for his running ability so far by the defense. I can't wait to see what adjustments they'll have to make during the halftime break.
And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
Well, it looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
And behind the chains, 2nd and 13. Corral here, working from the gun.
Man open, it's Goodwin.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard.
Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line.
And they're going to speed things up here.
1st down. Here's Corral with it.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Rashaan Evans, the linebacker, recording the sack there. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Gonzalez's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And the Falcons going to get one more drive here in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And this will be caught by Edwards. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. They'll look to throw here on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of the story you told me from your days in Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what did you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that answer.
Well, flags come flying in. One of the Falcons moved early.
False start. Offense.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
This third down just got even more difficult. Third down and 15 after the false start. They'll look to throw again. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
So on fourth down, Ritter heads to the sideline. Younghoe Koo gets set for the Atlanta field goal. Koo knocks this one through the post.
And that lead is back down to 9 now. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. 1 second, all that remains. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. So it's halftime here in Charlotte with the Panthers out on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll begin up at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay. And it's the Packers who have the lead in that one. Christian Watson, a touchdown reception. From there, we'll head to Cleveland to check on the Browns at home at First Energy Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Houston Texans. Nick Chubb, over 100 yards in the victory with 2 touchdown runs as well. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check in on the Saints at home at the Caesars Superdome. And it's the visiting Minnesota Vikings who are out in front. Adam Thielen, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Next, a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Falcons. And they did not do much at all in terms of throwing the football in those first 2 quarters. That's going to need to improve if they want to erase this deficit. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Each team making their final preparations for this second half. We're about ready, too, as we'll send you back up to Charlotte and rejoin Brandon and Charles at Bank of America Stadium.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3.
The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway.
Offense back out there, and we shine the spotlight on the Memphis man, Tony Pollard.
And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lot, but barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though.
Here's Corral on first down.
For Marshall, that's complete. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that will bring up second down.
Corral going to bootleg it.
And this one is incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
forced out to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. The third down conversion successful. A gain of 11. We knew he had the potential to give this defense fits with his arm, but he's really giving them fits with his legs in this one.
Got him tied in knots, doesn't he? Because you can see the indecision all the way through. Because when you're defending an RPO and you have to have the proper assignments, that means you're thinking instead of reacting, and he's taking full advantage of that, having a big game.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 47. On the play fake, Corral. They'll roll him out right. And he slings one that's incomplete.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback, I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
87 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead, because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. It'll be a handoff to Pollard, and only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Fakes the handoff. Now Corral to throw it. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Gonzalez out now to try the Panther field goal. This will be spotted at the 37, so it's a 47-yard attempt. Gonzalez's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
From the 6. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same, because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Looking to throw. Gets this to Campbell out on the right side. And he's going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Okay. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that's off the mark, incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Back to throw here. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. On 1st and 10, it's Algier. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. So maybe just a momentary setback on what's been a great drive so far, but 2nd and 13 here. He'll drop to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Edwards. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it's 3rd and 4 now. Back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. And he is going to have a Falcons 1st down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
Check, Pitts.
Now a toss play to Algier. Down inside the 40.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And he fires one that's intercepted.
Jeremy Chin picks it off.
He's at the 30, 10, and he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown.
Hey, Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half, and for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. As confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Atlanta now coming out on the field.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. They'll set up a throw.
It's Edwards again. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. They're going to look to throw. And this is incomplete.
Well, partner, they certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
On 2nd, here's Algier.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
That one to the sideline, and a nice catch there. He stays in bounds, but a penalty marker is down as well.
They stopped him shy of the marker, thought they were bringing up 4th down, and then that penalty.
Let's face it, they thought they had bent, but could absorb that, right? Instead, they broke as a result of their own penalty.
Here's a give to Algier on the option.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. He'll look to throw. Catch made here by Campbell. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
You have to ask the question, where was the help? Because it's a little surprising to me that he'd find that much room to run this close to the end zone. He doesn't quite get there, but he sets his guys up with a 1st and goal.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? They'll look to run with Algier. And he pushes forward, but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner, because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the 4th. Koo knocks this one through the post, and that'll get the deficit down to 15. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. As you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The possession of the football goes over to Carolina. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
Give him 4 yards there on the 1st down keeper. Now a give here to Pollard. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situation.
Corral under pressure, and down he goes. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th. On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 23. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Falcons 1st and 10 here as Ritter gets them ready at their own 27. Gives it to Algier to start things off. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll look to throw. Well, this is intercepted. They get Ritter for the 3rd time. And the Panthers are going to take possession of the football. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. They'll start out here with the option left. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you've got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
occasionally you start to...
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Matt Corral, his second touchdown on the season. And the Panthers are closing in on a third straight win as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter. The quarterback run has eaten him up all game long, and there he goes again, this time into the end zone.
And what I like about what I'm seeing, absolutely running almost with impunity. He's not worried about his body. He's not worried about sliding. He's not worried about protecting himself. He's worried about getting yardage. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, you've got to start figuring out what these blocking schemes are and finding ways to defeat them.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll look to throw here. Setting up the screen, here's Algier. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Oh, he's got his tight end pitch complete. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Dante Jackson picks it. And the Panthers are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Well, just another reason to celebrate there on the defensive side with the interception, and this is a game that they clearly have firmly in their grasp.
Yeah, a lot of handshakes, a lot of hugs, a lot of smiles. It's been their day.
The Carolina offense about ready to go. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. Good starting position for the Panthers as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, it's Pollard. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. And even 100 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. First down, and it's Pollard again. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Here's Pollard. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. Gonzalez's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. But for almost 8 years, 64 stood as the NFL record for the longest field goal. That has since been eclipsed. It's now 66, but still 64-yarder. Pretty impressive, CD.
Absolutely agree with that, because if you drill a 60-yarder in an NFL game, you've got a lot to be proud of. Record or no record. And only a handful of guys can even attempt it. Excellent job there putting that one through the pipes.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there, and trailing big here in this fourth quarter. The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll drop to throw. Pressure comes in. He's brought down into Panther sack. Brian Burns able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense. They kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Ritter and the Falcons need an answer, and a big play here on 3rd and long following the sack. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Pollard. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. There to stop him on the defensive side, Lorenzo Carter.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
They go back to Pollard on 2nd down. They follow up the 1st down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Like any team, they would have loved to have had more yards on that run, but it looks like they just want to get to the 2-minute warning and see what they want to do after that.
So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the 1st down marker was and getting there.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
2nd and 8 coming from the 19. A give up the middle, Hubbard. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
So this one is over. A victory for Carolina. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So for the Panthers, it's a very important win as they move to 9-4 now on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the Saints will come to town. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, it's going to all but eliminate them from the playoff picture as they fall to 5-8. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings.